All right, guys, I've made quite a few videos on the footprint, the delta profile, how to read it, so on and so forth. One of the things I really haven't delved into or made many videos on is really my proprietary work. And this is 30 years of experience. I started this actually more than 30 years now. I mean, I started this all the way back in 1983, straight out of high school. And this is my life's work, basically, on a chart. And I've showed this stuff. I posted this stuff from time to time, and so on and so forth. But it's based on the work of W.D. Gann. And if you don't know very much about W.D. Gann, I would suggest that you look him up. Go ahead and do a Google search or whatever. But keep in mind this that if you read W.D. Gann or you study W.D. Gann, all of his writings were veiled. In other words, he didn't spell it out for you. He wrote a lot of trading books, but he didn't give you the answers. He gave you the starting point to find the answers on your own. And I think that entire premise is lost on 99% of Gann students because they seem to think that everything that he wrote is cut and dry, and it's not. It's in a veiled language, and I mean, he says so many times in all of his books, "Seek and ye shall find." I mean, that should be really enough of a clue for you to know that he was not spelling it out. He expected people to do the work. He was not going to take his life's work and just put it on a plate for somebody. He expected people to put in the due diligence to find out exactly what it is that he was talking about. And I think, I'm not claiming that I've decoded all of his work because I haven't, and I continuously learn from everything that he's taught me through his works, and it's an ongoing process. But I have really put in a long, long time into figuring this stuff out, and it's not what a lot of people think it is. Let me just put it that way. You have to be able to decipher what it is that he's talking about in his books, and you have to decipher it in a manner that's logical and progressive. So anyway, this is Friday's ES using my WD Gann work. And the time and price templates that I post on the Facebook page are also based on the work of Gann, but they are my own creation based upon his work. That's the simplest way that I can put it, because I'm eternally grateful for him to have given me a starting point to try and figure this stuff out. If I hadn't had him or read any of his stuff to give me some type of starting point, none of this would have ever been created. And so it's not a direct copy of his work, but it is certainly inspired by his work. And for that, I thank him. But anyway, the templates, the time and price templates that I have on the Facebook page are based on that, as are the time and price lines that you see here. The DT7 line is my own creation. That's diatonic time. Uh, I'll go into that in a later video, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of exactly what these lines did on Friday. And I posted this stuff before, and it just, even after 30 years of studying this stuff and putting it all together, it still absolutely amazes me that the market, or markets, I should say, follow all of this stuff to a T. So anyway, the white lines here are the institutional lines, these thick white lines. The red lines are the time and price lines, and the green line is the DT7, or the diatonic timeline. And you can see that price and time adhered to these lines in many parts of the day. So, the came down here just before the non-farm payroll data came out and tested that institutional and then took off. The time and price line was in play the entire early session. It also pegged the top for the day to the tick. The institutional line, once again, was in play here. The DT7 was in play here. DT7 was in play here. Here. I mean, and I see this on a continuous basis every single day. That's one of the reasons it's such a great tool and why I use it so much. That is on the ES. This is the German Bund with the institutional and the DT7 line on it. Also the time and price bands. And as you can see, once again, these lines are instrumental in where price goes and when it goes there. So, I mean, you can look, the institutional is this brown line here and this brown line here. These cyan lines are the time and price bands off the template, and the blue line is the DT7 line. And you can see here it was instrumental. Here, once again, the DT7 held everything in check for the first part of the session. This was the run up after the NFP, and then the collapse. This will work on any market. All this stuff will work because inherently they all follow the same principle. So that's the German Bund. This is crude oil on Friday. Let's see, once again, here I've got the institutional and the DT7 line. Once again, instrumental in how the markets moved and where they moved to. And then I have this on the NASDAQ. And that is the NASDAQ for Friday and what it did with the proprietary time and price lines and the Gann lines. These aren't standard Gann lines, trust me. They're not your 1x2s or your 2x1s or your 4x1s or your 1x4s or your 45s or your 12.5s or any of those. These are my own proprietary stuff that I've developed through the genius that is WD Gann. So I just wanted to give a quick run through of those lines and how awesome they are. I mean, I know that I'm kind of tooting my own horn here, but it just, like I said earlier, it still amazes me just how price and time come together to form basically this ballet on chart paper. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover on that. I hope you guys are having a good holiday weekend. I wanted to make this video before my little buddy got up. He's going to be up probably, well, he gets up pretty darn early. So once he's up, that's it. The day is his. I take a back seat, whatever he wants to do. All right. You guys have a good one. And, maybe before he gets up, I'll try and go through the footprint chart and make a video on crude oil. Because that was a pretty cool looking thing that happened on Friday. All right. Later.